we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my life.
Welcome to another great episode of Strong Arm Sports. Before I even get into the topics though, let me just go freestyle and go off the head and say, man, I want to wish my brother, my partner in crime, LaParis57, a happy birthday. If you guys haven't done that, blow up the comment section and wish him a happy birthday. He's an old man like me. But anyway, man, we got a great show for you guys today. And I'm KSpadeTheProspect.
And before I introduce myself, I want to say happy Father's Day to everybody out there that's an amazing father. You guys will probably see this on Father's Day or before Father's Day, but whenever you see it, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Straight up.
But I'm your boy LaParis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports, babe. Got a great show, got to kick it off. You know what I mean? A lot of people saying they tired of hearing NBA talk, but it was some more news that happened in the NBA. So I got to talk about this topic, Spade. The LA Clippers, if you guys haven't heard, made a trade for Lance Stephenson. So the Clippers get Lance Stephenson, and the the Hornets get Spencer Hawes, and Matt Barnes goes to Charlotte. Spade, how do you feel about this trade?
You know what this is? This is two teams trading their problems. This is one team saying, I got a problem with this guy. It's like those two owners, GMs, or somebody was in a bar throwing something back. He's like, man, I got this guy on my team. He's a pain in the kisser. I got to get him out of here. And dude says, you know what? I got a guy on my team who's a pain in the kisser. Why don't we just trade pains in the kissers? Maybe your pain won't be as big a pain to me. And Spencer Hawes just went along for the ride. But it's no secret that Matt Barnes has kind of clashed with some of the members of the Clippers organization. And you already know Lance Stephenson's story. You know, it's painted everywhere. The question that I have for you, though, is who wins this thing? Like, who wins in this trade? The Clippers or the Hornets?
I want to say the Hornets. Because, you know, word on the street is Lance Stephenson won't even start. To me, Matt Barnes is he's a tough guy. I'm doing a quote finger said, known around the NBA as a goon. As a goon. He's a light-skinned goon. Right. It's one of them in the NBA. And that's Matt Barnes. Right. So I want to say that the Bobcats, they got a little tougher. You know, Matt Barnes is a solid defender. Spencer Hawes give them more height. You know, Al Jefferson was dealing with some, injuries. So they gives him another big body. Spencer Hawes can stretch the floor. Really didn't play that much with the Clippers. So in my eyes, I think Charlotte gets the best of this trade. Now, Lance Stephenson is kind of funny to me. Because I was a Lance Stephenson fan when he was with the Pacers. He got paid, went down there to the Hornets, and I don't know what happened to Lance.
I know what happened.
I would like for Lance to get back on track. You said he got exposed?
He got exposed. He got exposed down there, man. They wanted him to come in and be that guy that could score at will, and he wasn't that guy.
Yeah, he was excited to go down there to Charlotte because he was like, Michael Jordan picked me to go be the guy down there. And for whatever reason, it did not happen, and they shipped Lance off. I want to know in the comment section, who do you guys think won this trade, the Clippers or the Hornets? Let us know in the comment section down below. Lance, I'm rooting for you, Lance. Get it together, Lance.
I agree with you, though. I definitely feel like the Hornets win that whole thing. And not even for the reasons you said. For the most part, I agree. But another thing that I want to say is it's all about where your mind is. And Matt Barnes, he bought into being a role player. He's a role player. He accepts that role, and he goes out, he clocks in, and he does his job. I think Lance still thinks he's a star. So until he buys into being a role player, it's going to be an issue. And keep in mind, after the regular season, we already heard that Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan wasn't getting along. So you're going to throw in another guy that people can't get along with? This is something to watch. But let's move forward, man. I got another topic for you guys. If you guys watched the NBA Finals, and I believe most of us did, you got a chance to see D Wade up there on the panel doing like some analyst work. D Wade, you my boy, man, but you gotta hype it up. You was monotone and a mug. I almost fell asleep while you was talking. But right before I dozed off, we heard D Wade say, back when I was in Miami, back when I was with Miami, and everybody was like, whoa, back when you was with Miami. So I gotta ask you, LaParis, and I gotta ask the viewers and the listeners, is this just a miscue? It was live TV. Did D Wade just goof up and he didn't mean to say that? Or is it more than meets the eye? What do you think?
I think D Wade sees himself out of Miami. I don't think it was a mistake at all. I don't think he misspoke at all. I think D Wade is smart enough to know what he's about to say when he's about to say it. And I think this was kind of strategic. This was a strategic move. It was kind of like, Pat, get right, Pat, because I'm already seeing myself out the door. So you better pay me or I'm gone. Like, how do you feel about it, though?
That's a good point. I want to believe that it was a miscue. Live TV, D-Wade talking. He looking at LeBron. He thinking that him and LeBron still teammates. LeBron gone, so maybe in his... I don't know. The Heat fan in me don't want to believe that we not going to do right and pay D-Wade. D-Wade is still going to be in Miami, y'all. Let's hope and pray. I hope.
Hey,
I hope,
the report is that Wade wants like 13 to 15 million and Riley want to give him like 10 million or something, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if D-Wade taking that much of a discount, bruh. Especially if you guys didn't see the previous SAS I spoke on. Maybe, they'll let Kevin Love go and Wade and Bron will hook up in Cleveland again. I don't know. We have to wait and see how this plays out in the offseason.
It's possible.
But yeah, but I really want to know what you guys think about. Did he misspeak, or did Dwayne Wade do this strategically to try and tell Pat Riley, hey, I ain't playing. I already see myself out of here. So I mean, we have to see how this plays out. You ready to move on?
Yeah, man. What else you got?
Speaking of two guards, and speaking of Dwayne Wade being from Chicago, let's take it to Chicago. Let's talk about Jimmy Butler, who's probably doing us. I'm all about players getting their money, Spade. You know that about your boy. But Jimmy Butler may be doing something real smart here. Jimmy Butler, if you guys haven't heard, he want to take a shorter deal, like a 2-year deal, so he could re-up again and get another max in 2 years when all that TV money come in, which I think is just brilliant. But people are saying that Jimmy Butler isn't doing the right thing. He should take a longer deal than re-up like everybody else does. But in my opinion, I think Jimmy Butler is doing the right thing by taking a shorter deal, re-ing up in 2 years when all that TV billionaire money come in, re-ing up and getting paid again. How do you feel about Jimmy Butler saying he want to take a shorter deal, Spade?
This is the second show in a row where I've given a shout out to Nate. But Nate would call this betting on yourself. And it sounds like he took a page out of Revis's book. This is what Revis does, if you think about it.
Yes.
Revis goes, I'm so confident that I'm not going to do anything to hurt my reputation this season or next season. I'm not going to play bad. I'm not going to get injured. I'm so confident in that I prefer a small contract so I can re-up and re-bust your head for more money. And I think it's a genius thing. Just, I hope it works out for Jimmy Butler. I like him. I like his game. And I hope it works out for him, because I think he has potential to be one of the elite two guards in the league. I really do.
Now let me strong on. This is Strong On Sports. Let me strong on the question in here. Do you think right now Jimmy Butler is a max player? Like, should he get a max contract, Jimmy Butler, right now?
I said this before on the show. My personal opinion of max players, I don't think it's but a handful. I think it might be 5 max players in the league. So by my definition, I don't think he's a max player. At the same time, before I even get that out of my mouth good, some of the players that's in the league getting max money, I don't think they max players. So if some of those other guys can get max money, I think Jimmy B can get some max money. But by me, if I'm the GM, no, he ain't getting that max money, bro.
See, that's my argument, because Gordon Hayward in Utah got a max.
Right.
So if Gordon Hayward out in Utah can get a max, I think Jimmy Butler deserves a max. Now, I like Gordon Hayward, but to me, Gordon Hayward isn't a max player.
Right.
But if Gordon Hayward got a max player, I think they better give Jimmy Butler a max contract. Because in my opinion, like you said, it's a handful of top-notch max players. When I think of max players, I think of guys like LeBron, KD, those type of guys. Like, and if Gordon Hayward is getting paid somewhere up there by those guys, then Jimmy Butler should get paid too.
And it breaks the system, because
then
you go to question, well, wait a minute. If he's max, isn't he max? And if he's max, isn't he max? And then next thing you know, everybody's making max money.
Yeah, but I mean, more money is good for everybody, right?
I guess so. We just had the highest view NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's tuning in. That's a lot of revenue. All right, so folks, check this out. You guys are tired of talking about the NBA Finals. Hell, we tired of talking about the NBA Finals. So, in one of our most recent shows, LaParis and myself went head-to-head with our all-time NBA team. Most of you guys came through the comment section and said the same thing I said. LaParis' squad would get destroyed by mine. But in preparation for the NFL season, I had an idea. I told LaParis, you know what? Let's do our all-time NFL team. But because the team is so big, what we're going to do on each show, we're going to take a portion and just focus on that one, you know what I'm saying, portion. So for today, we're going to focus on this secondary. This is our 2 cornerbacks and our 2 safeties on our all-time NFL team. LaParis, I'm putting you on the hot seat. Give me your corner, your first corner, man. Who do you take?
My first corner is easy. Primetime, Deion Sanders. Self-explanatory. Like, Deion Sanders is, I don't think anybody can argue, the best cover safety, the best cover corner, I ever seen in my life. Okay. And I don't think you can argue that. To me, Deion Sanders is my number 1 corner. Give me Deion. Give me prime time.
Well, you know, I can't argue with that. I think Deion Sanders, too, is the greatest cover corner I ever saw. What made Deion so amazing was the fact that he was so gifted that his technique wasn't necessarily right. We would see Deion do things that you tell cornerbacks don't do all the time.
That's right.
He had the speed to make it up. He would get back into play. He would get interceptions. He would run around with the football in one hand like a loaf of bread. All the things that coaches hated. But Deion could do it. So give me Deion as well, man.
Okay, so let me ask you, who's your number 2? Who's your number 2?
Is a guy that may not, I don't know if most of the viewers and listeners will agree here, but to me, this guy right here deserves to be here, right? I'm going to give you some stats before I give you his name, because that's what I do. This guy right here was so fast, I mean so fast, that it was reported that on February 16th of 2010, on his 50th birthday, he was clock running a 4.43 in the 40 at 50 years old. I know
it is.
This guy played professional football till he was 42 years old, not sitting on the sideline. I'm talking making a contribution to his team. Man, give me Darryl Green. Give me Darryl. You know, man, back then they had unofficial 40 times, so you know how that whole thing go. But Darryl reportedly ran his 40 in 4.09 seconds. That's crazy. Darryl Green and Deion Sanders, I like to see you try to go deep on my all-time team. Try that.
Well, I'm going to tell you who I got as my second corner. And later in his career, my corner moved to safety and was a beast there too. So give me Rod Woodson. One of the best ball hawkers at corner in the league ever. Give me Rod Woodson. With Deion and Rod Woodson, I don't think nobody in their life is throwing on these guys. Now, I know Rod Woodson did get a little banged up when Barry gave him that little head and shoulders on the sideline over there. And then, you know, Rod Woodson moved to safety. But that was Barry Sanders. Now, unless, we have to wait until later to see if Spade going to pick Barry Sanders on his team. But I think Rod Woodson and Deion Sanders is a perfect combination at the 1 and 2 cornerback position. And I don't think nobody taking it to the air on us.
That's true. That's a good pick. And I was really waiting to see what I felt like you was going to pick one of these new school guys. I thought you was going to throw Sherman over there or somebody like that. That's a good pick. I respect that pick. All right, so let's flip it up. Let's go back there and talk about these safeties, man. Give me your free safety. This is very important, man. This guy has to make sure he's your last line of defense. Don't screw this up, LaParis. Who's your free safety?
Now, this is another pick, and I think we probably got the same guy. Give me Ed Reed. That's just too easy. To me, Ed Reed is arguably one of the best free safeties, one of the best safeties all time in the NFL. I mean, he was another guy, ball, and then when he did catch the ball, he turned it into points. So that's what I want at my free safety position. I want a guy that attacks the ball at its highest point, and then when he catch it, brings it back the other way, back to the house. Like, mama, I'm home. You know what I mean? That's the guy I want. And that's Ed Reed. So, Ed, you are my free safety.
You're absolutely right. I got to agree with you here. To me, I'm biased clearly, But to me, I don't think it was a better free safety in the game. A lot of people's going to say could have been Sean Taylor, and it absolutely could have been, but Sean Taylor's career, unfortunately, was cut short. So when I look at his whole body of work, for me, give me Ed Reed. And you left out something. Not only was he a ball hawk, not only was he a threat to do something with the ball once he got it, but in the event that he didn't get it, he was able and willing to knock the hell out of whoever did. So you give me Ed Reed at the free safety.
That's true. Now this right here should get interesting. Who do you have as strong? Your strong safety. Give me that guy.
Okay. This is what I want to do. And cut me some
Oh,
slack.
Lord. Time out.
What?
Here come the banana in the tailpipe. What you mean this is what you want to do?
All right, this is what I want to do. Now, with the NBA, we said you had to get positions because you guys was going crazy. Y'all was like, give me Kobe at the 1, Jordan at the 2. Like y'all was wilding out. So if I can bend the rule a little bit, I like to put Sean Taylor at strong safety. If I can't, I want to lean Ronnie Lott, but I want to do something a little different. I had Ronnie Lott written down, but I don't want to do Ronnie Lott. This is what I'm going to do. This is going to really blow your mind. And this lets you know just how big of a football fan I am. At strong safety, give me Chuck Cecil. Anybody who ever saw Chuck Cecil play.
Oh, my God.
As a kid, I remember almost missing the school bus watching SportsCenter. And they were showing Chuck Cecil knock the hell out of Dave Meggett, who was a running back for the New York Giants. Chuck Cecil was destroying Dave Meggett so much that I thought Phil Simms must hate Dave Meggett. Why is he throwing the ball in the flats? So, hey, Chuck Cecil wasn't about coverage. That's not his thing. I think I got coverage locked down between my other 2 corners and my other safety. But when it just come to being an extra run stopper, give me Chuck Cecil. Unless y'all gonna let me have Sean Taylor.
Boy, woo! And you know what? That's back when the Cardinals used to be in the NFC East, and they used to play the Giants twice a year. He used to murder. He used to murder Dave Meggett. I remember those games. Like,
look it up.
I ain't mad at
you
Chuck
can
Cecil.
find clips of it. Yo, LaParis, didn't that guy get kicked out of the league for spearing people?
I mean, that's what people say. But word on the street is it's not true. But that's what people say. Like, he got fined and was getting suspended so much that Chuck Cecil really had to get up out the league because he was literally draping people on the field.
Chuck was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and it listed him as the most dangerous guy in the NFL. Yeah, this guy tried to kill people. Give me Chuck Cecil.
I love Chuck Cecil. But I'm gonna go with another vicious hitter. And I mean, give me Ronnie Lott. It's just too easy.
That's easy.
Ronnie Lott as strong. That's too easy, man. Ronnie Lott hit somebody, broke his finger, his finger came off. His finger was off. Ronnie Lott went back in the game with no finger. So whenever you had that type of toughness and that type of that type of headhunter or killer at safety, give me Ronnie Lott, give me Ed Reed, give me Deion and Rob Woodson, and I think that's a deadly combination in the secondary. And woo, I think people will really have a problem back there.
That's pretty solid, bro. That's pretty solid. Now I have to admit, I still like my team better, but man, I like what you building over there. So this is what we're gonna do, folks. We're probably gonna keep this to the end of the week show. I guess we won't do them on the midweek show. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But on the next show, we'll probably go linebackers or something. So in the meantime, I want y'all to list y'all secondary in the comment section. Of course, this is if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're listening on one of our podcasts, you can email us your list. Drop the email form, LaParis. What's the email?
Strong Arm Sports YT. Everything spelled correctly. The YT stands for YouTube. Strong Arm Sports YT at gmail.com.
Drop everything in there. I want to see what y'all got.
Yeah, man. Leave everything. And if you don't want to email us or anything like that, tweet us. I know everybody got Twitter. You can tweet your boys. Hit the Twitter. Everything gonna be, all links will be down in the description. We everywhere. We everywhere. You guys can find us at all times. So definitely let us know your all-time secondary in the comment section on Twitter, in the email. Hit us up, man. Let us know. Now, Spade. Spade.
Yes, sir.
We bought a new segment in the last show called It Ain't It, and it was received pretty well. A lot of people liked it. So I had to bring it back. It ain't it, Spade. I'm gonna run down some topics. You know, we're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna run down some topics. We're gonna say it ain't it.
Let's do it.
So, Spade, I gotta start. If you guys haven't seen it, I wish we could put pictures. Due to YouTube terms of service, we cannot leave images in the video. We don't want to get that bang back. You don't want to get that. But if you guys haven't seen them, please Google them, look them up, hit the Twitter, go to their website. But the Los Angeles Clippers new uniform, Spade, it ain't it.
I think y'all a little hard on the Clippers, man. I think the uniforms are it. Any change is a good change. I'm with change, man. They're it.
Them jerseys ain't it, man. They really didn't make a change, man. They kind of just kept it simple. Like, if you're gonna make a change, like change it. Go Cleveland Browns, change it. If you're gonna make a change it. You know what I mean? Like, don't just keep it simple like that, man. Okay. They ain't it.
I got you. Since you like change, how about the Philadelphia 76ers uniforms? They made some changes. It or ain't it?
First of all, them jerseys ain't it either. They mad regular, just like the Philadelphia roster is regular. Man, Philly ain't it. Them jerseys ain't it. Them uniforms suck. They ain't it. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I got to give them, you know what, them uniforms ain't it. And even if they was it, I would say they ain't it because y'all got bigger fish to fry. Who care what y'all uniforms look like? Go win some games. That ain't it.
You ain't lying. Now, let me ask you, you know, you've been hard on this guy for years, man. I got to give you credit because you called it. You used to argue back and forth. About this guy. And I actually, we spoke on this guy earlier, Lance Stevenson. It ain't it.
Oh, Lance ain't it. Sorry, Lance. You ain't it, bro.
Man, I want to believe Lance was it, man. But you know what? The way Lance looked last year, Lance, you ain't it, man. And I want to like Lance. But Lance, you ain't it right now, man. You could prove us wrong this year with the Clippers. But right now, Lance, you ain't it.
I got Pittman in the cut, ready to clothesline that dude at any given day. You know what I'm saying? You've been clothesline once, Lance. Don't get out of line.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's go. Let's talk football for a minute, man. This guy right here, as much as I hate Ohio State, and trust me when I tell you, I hate Ohio State. This guy right here, I almost was a fan of the guy. He had swagger. He could play. I like to see him slang that football. Terrell Pryor, TP2, man, just recently came out and said, all right, don't nobody want me as a QB? I'm willing to play some wide receiver. A year after him saying, I can't catch. I don't have no hands to be a wide receiver. LaParis, is TP2 it or ain't it?
I want to say Terrell Pryor ain't it, man. And my thing, before you even go, let me just say this real quick. If these guys are, Terrell Pryor could definitely get a job as a quarterback. But it might not be in the NFL. Lose your pride, and go to the CFL. It's a long list of guys that played in the CFL and was successful. Look at Doug Flutie. And Doug Flutie cooked up there so much in the CFL. Guess what? He ended up getting a job in his later, he probably was in his later 30s when he came back to the NFL and ended up having some good years in the NFL. Lose your pride. Go play in the CFL. Hone your skills, get better, and maybe you wouldn't have to change positions. But right now, Terrell Pryor, you ain't it. Spade, TP, it ain't it.
Well, hold up.
Okay.
TP could play wide receiver and earn more money. He probably could earn more money as a practice squad wide receiver in the NFL than he could as a QB in one of these other leagues. Maybe it's about money for TP. We don't know what he got going on, but it's not necessarily a bad thing to change positions. Antoine Randall L, Hines Ward, Julian Edelman, Ryan Tannehill, who actually went back to being a QB, but maybe, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing, man. So, you know, I'm going to say TP2, you ain't it, but you could be. You might be.
My thing, before we move on, Spade, my thing with Terrell Pryor is if you was going to change positions, you should have did that coming out like the rest of the guys that you named. Randall L came out and was a wide receiver when he came out of college. He was a QB. He came out. He was a wide receiver. Hines Ward, Julian Edelman, those guys came into the league as wide receivers.
That's true.
People was telling Terrell Pryor to move. Terrell Pryor was adamant, I'm a quarterback. That's what I'm going to do. Just like your boy Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow, they were saying, you need to be a H-back, a tight end. Them dudes is adamant that they don't want to move. And it's going to show that these guys ain't it. And that's why these guys ain't it. Terrell Pryor should have been moved, especially if you was going to move. Move already.
You absolutely right, bro.
Play,
so
go play quarterback in Canada.
TP, you ain't it for me neither, bro. That's two ain't it. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, moving on. A guy that I want to say was it for a very, very, very long time, Spade. It ain't it. Tiger Woods. Is he it or is he ain't it? Tiger Woods.
There is no Tiger Woods. Wait, first of all, there is no Tiger Woods. There's only Eldritch Woods. This guy ain't playing good enough to have a nickname. That cat named Eldritch Woods, and he ain't it. He out there, and he can't even make the cut for these tournaments. He ain't it. Man, the skiing chick Lindsay don't even want him no more. He ain't it, bro.
Yeah, man.
I ain't even sorry about that, Tiger. You had to wait for a long time. You shouldn't even be mad that you ain't it no more. You got a lot of riches and a whole bunch of Buicks. Why do golf give these rich millionaires Buicks? Don't nobody want no damn Buick.
Don't nobody want no Buick.
That man got
Buick
15 Buicks and a couple $1 million.
Buick cutting that check, Spade. Buick, hold on, Buick. If y'all want to give your boy some sponsor Buick, holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. We could be sponsored by Buick right here.
You ain't
sponsored
lying.
by Buick.
We talking about
holla at your boy.
You know, the new Buicks in the commercial, people can't even tell they Buicks. The old lady like, that's not a Buick. I'm talking about them old Buicks. They ain't it.
Yeah, man.
But we'll take a new Buick at any given time. I'll take two.
Yeah,
go ahead, bro.
You know what? Tiger shot at 80 yesterday, man. What day before yesterday, whenever.
It ain't no
shot
Tiger.
At 80.
You still calling him
Eldritch.
Thank you.
Eldritch shot at 80. Man, do you know that's like a plus 10? Like, I think, Spade, me and you ain't never played no golf. We could go out there and shoot at 80. I think we can make. We can go out there and. Oh Lord, here we go.
No, I did. I played golf.
You play golf?
Yeah,
we'll talk about that on another. We're gonna talk about that on another show.
But you know, I could beat you.
I think we could go out there. Spade. The bottom line is we can go out there and miss the cut. We can go out there and miss the cut.
Right.
Come on, Tiger. You ain't it no more, man. And I love Tiger, man. Tiger was my guy. I tuned in for Tiger on Sundays with that red Nike shirt. Tiger, what happened? You ain't it.
But let's move on to somebody else, man. This guy right here is an NBA player, drafted pretty high. We don't really know what he can do. The only thing I know about him is he's a Twitter comedian, man. Joel Embiid,
ain't lying.
The Philadelphia 76ers big man, has had a major setback on the rehabilitation of his already injured self. And now they're saying it's a possibility he could miss a whole nother season. This guy going to be like a 26-year-old rookie if he keeps this up. Joel Embiid, bro, is he it? I ain't it.
He ain't it, bro. First, I told y'all, Philly ain't it, man. Anything pertaining to Philly right now ain't it. And you know what? They was comparing Embiid to Hakeem. They was comparing him to the Dream. Joel Embiid ain't it. He ain't it, man. How do you feel about Embiid?
Joel is real young, so it's a possibility he still can have this big career ahead of him. It scares me, though, because this thing right here is eerily similar to some Greg Oden stuff, and Greg Oden can never get right. So, Joel, you're going to have to prove me wrong until the end, bro. You ain't it, but you might have a future as a Twitter comedian.
You ain't lying. On some, like Plies, you better get on your Vine. You better get on your Vine.
Better get on Snapchat.
Last but not least, you ain't lying. But last but not least, a guy that I think both of us, as basketball fans, we respect, you know what I mean? Especially as a coach. I mean, even as a player, like, he was it. Like, not it like a great, but I mean, like, he was a great role player for what he did. And I mean, he was an amazing coach. But I gotta ask you about him as a president and a GM. Phil Jackson, it ain't it.
Phil ain't it, man. One while Phil telling us, I'm sorry, bro. One while Phil telling us that the draft ain't how you build your team. And then the next thing you know, he gets some lottery balls and all of a sudden Phil wants us to believe that the draft is how you build your team. Phil ain't it, man. Phil up there winging it. He don't know it. Phil, you ain't it. Sorry, Phil. Sorry.
And speaking on what you just said right there, Phil said the draft ain't how you build a team. Then he said the draft is how you build a team. Now reports came out that they trying to trade the pick for Eric Bledsoe. Phil, you ain't it. What are you doing over there, Phil?
Phil winging it, man. Shooting in the dark over there.
God, Phil, man. Like, I had some... If you guys rewind all the way back down to the very first episodes of SAS, I was like, I believe in Phil as a GM. He going to get the Knicks right. Phil, you ain't it, man.
Right, nasty. Right,
bro. Phil ain't it. Phil ain't it. So we want to know if you guys agree with it or ain't it. The people we talked about, and leave your thoughts on them in the comment section. Let us know if they it or ain't it. Let us know.
Let us know. Interact with us. We love it.
Yeah, let us know, man. You got anything else?
No, man. I do want to let the people know there will not be a midweek show next week. Like I said, man, we got some birthdays popping. You got LaParis's birthday, like now.
Yeah, man.
You got my birthday rolling up. I mean, June. All the G's was born in June, right, bro? Ain't that true?
You ain't lying.
I read that somewhere.
You ain't lying.
So, man, you know, of course, we got families. We're gonna be trying to do a little bit of both things, but what we decided was we're gonna go ahead and ball out this week so we both can get back in next weekend and pick up right where we left off. So hopefully we'll only miss one show. LaParis, be safe on your trip. Viewers, listeners, we catch y'all in a week, man.
That's right, man. As usual, bang the subscribe button up there. If you're a regular here, bang the like button down there. Leave your thoughts in the comment section right there. You know what I mean? The typical thing, if you don't want to see our mugshot, download the podcast. You can just listen to us. You ain't got to see our mugshots. Other than that, we want to thank you guys for watching as usual. Thank you for the continued support. Thank y'all for all the love you guys been showing. Enjoy your Father's Day if you're a father out there. If you're not a father, don't make no babies. Be safe. Man, I appreciate all y'all. We'll see you guys next episode. Peace.